All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live recording of the Managing Partners podcast. My name is Kevin Daisy, and I'll be your host. Also, the founder of Array Digital, where we help law firms grow through digital marketing. Today, I got a guest coming out of North Carolina, Roanoke Rapids. So, Melissa, thanks so much for joining me, and look forward to hearing your story.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, absolutely. So, Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, so not too far away from us here in Virginia. But tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you started? Why'd you become an attorney? And we'll talk a little bit more about what you focus on.
Sure. Yeah, you said it. We're in Roanoke Rapids. We're not too far from the Virginia border, the Roanoke Valley, a lot of people affectionately call us. And I actually grew up in a smaller town called Elizabeth City, which is a few hours east of here towards the coast of North Carolina. And I guess I've always kind of been a small town girl, Southern born and bred. And, you know, for me, living in a smaller town community as a younger girl growing up, I was always pretty smart, growing up. And I always looked at the people in our town who were lawyers. And for a smaller town, we probably had like 10 lawyers in the whole county. And they were kind of famous to us. It's like
they stood out.
It's like, there's that lawyer, And that was pretty informative to me as a young girl growing up. And when I went off to college, I went to UNC Charlotte's where I graduated, and I majored in business and marketing, actually. And then I didn't actually plan to necessarily be an attorney, but as I was going to decide where I wanted to work and what I wanted to do, I actually followed that path myself. And then when I got married, my husband, actually, I met him in law school as well, and he was from Eastern North Carolina. He's from Roanoke Rapids. So we ended up coming back here and starting our own firm together. And it's, kind of come full circle for me. We live in a smaller community, and we are now one of the 10 lawyers in the town. No, I'm just kidding. There's more than that here, but it's really wonderful. We love it here. We like small town practice, and it's been really fulfilling for us. We're not necessarily a full service law firm. We do real estate is my primary focus. We also do some estate planning and criminal defense. We don't really do civil litigation, but we do a wide range of different practice areas, and we try to do as much as we can for our clients and our community. And we've been really successful. We've been in practice for about 10 years now. Okay,
excellent. Wow. Congratulations. That's a big milestone to hit. And
yeah,
if you can get past the first year, fifth year, it's a pretty good sign that you're going to be around for a while. So that's good. I know Elizabeth City pretty well. My stepfather's from there. Used to visit there as a kid for family reunions, and it's not too far away from me here in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Oh, great.
So
beautiful town.
Yep, nice little spot. Very small, for sure.
Yeah, it's growing. It's nice.
What was wasn't like a famous baseball player from Elizabeth City? There's like a billboard.
Yeah, I think it's Edenton, actually, North Carolina.
There's Edenton.
I can't remember the name right now, and I'm sure there's people screaming at the screen. The name.
If you're watching now from Elizabeth City, you know what I'm talking
about. My brother was really big into baseball. He's going to disown me for not remembering this, but
I should know that too. Anyway, for the rest of the country listening, you probably don't know where Elizabeth City is, but also for Melissa's firm, if you want to take a look, learn more about her, connect with her. Maybe you're from that area. Maybe you're an attorney in North Carolina that doesn't do real estate. So maybe this is a good referral source. But DixonLawFirm.com. I'll leave a nice short domain. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so go take a look, connect with her as we're talking more about her on the show here. So you primarily focus on real estate. You do some estate planning, which I think has a lot of crossover there. As far as your clientele, there's some of clients you're kind of helping through different things, or is it kind of a separate kind of approach when it comes to your clients there?
Well,
because there's some crossover.
It's interesting that you ask it that way, because that's one of our primary marketing strategies, because one of the most vital assets that we have is our relationship with our clients. And one of the most interesting things to me is, as far as a marketing perspective, is the way that things are changing in terms of consumer behavior and how people make decisions about who they hire, what they want out of their attorneys. And, you know, when someone's going to hire an attorney, what are they thinking about? What are they doing? And I believe strongly in developing that relationship with your client, having, you know, all of their information, for example, in our database makes it very convenient for them to hire us for one matter and another. And the key thing for me is that they trust us, they know us. And so there's a lot of crossover there. So I might handle their real estate purchase when they get married and buy their first house, and then they get a speeding ticket. And then, you know, another partner in our firm might do something like that. Or they go to think about creating a will after they have their first child. And, you know, they come back to us because they know us. They've got all our information already, so it's easy, you know, that kind of thing. So for me, that's a big key point in the marketing, and staying in forefront of their minds through things like email campaigns, just brand awareness, that type of thing. So.
No, I think that's you make a great point there. And you know, if from a sales side too, it's a lot easier to sell to an existing customer than it is to try to sell someone that doesn't know who you are.
Absolutely.
So, not that we're thinking about them as a sales opportunity necessarily, but you know, we run businesses and we need clients to serve. So, but that's a great point. So I've seen a lot of law firms kind of start in like a vertical or a niche that they're really focused on. And naturally, it seems, especially in your case, that it makes sense to service some of those other areas and fill those gaps. So that makes a lot of sense. And I think that's kind of just a natural progression of a firm. So, and you're 10 years in, so, you know, obviously you've seen those opportunities come about. So, well, excellent. So from a marketing standpoint, I saw you have a Facebook that you guys keep up to date, and you have the website, email newsletters and things like that, email blasts. Anything else you're doing marketing wise that's different or that stood out or that's worked well for you?
Yeah, for me personally, a large part of my business is going to be business to business marketing. So especially in the real estate sector, we do have a large part of our business coming from referrals. So we have real estate agents, lenders, you know, there might be surveyors, all different parts of the pipeline that are going to be involved in the real estate process. And each of these people are going to be a major source of referrals, and networking with these people and keeping good relationships with them that's one of the main sources for me of marketing for my business. And, you know, referring out to them as well is always going to be huge for me. So maintaining those relationships, business to business marketing. And then as far as, since it's a small town, one of the general marketing strategies for us, other than, you know, your internet SEO, is going to be just visual, physical, old school tactics like billboards, radio ads, because people still do listen to the local radio stations here and do things like that. One campaign that we actually had that was really successful pre-COVID was a movie theater ad. So we made a little movie theater spot, and before the, you know, movie comes on or before the previews start, they have little, you know, blurbs and jingles with the videos and pictures of us on the screen. And that was actually really cool because I had, you know, young kids coming up to me saying, "I saw you on the movies," and you know, I felt like a rock star for a couple of months. So that was pretty effective though. And,
I think all forms of marketing have their place and can be effective when used properly. And I think in a smaller town, for sure, those kinds of things do the job and work very well.
Exactly.
Actually, side note, I had a client of ours that was looking for a family to be on a commercial that they were getting shot by the TV station. And they talked me into it, and I had my wife and kids on this commercial. And now if we're out about anywhere, people like will just come up and be like, I feel like I know you somewhere. To my wife mainly because she got a speaking part, which she was kind of mad about. But but we had someone staring at us the other day. We were at the restaurant and like someone's just like, she's just like kind of like looking at them like, what do you want? And they couldn't place it. And she's like, well, did you see this commercial? And they're like, oh yeah, I think we did. So yeah, but it's kind of funny. But no, so that's great that you're doing those things and thinking outside the box and figuring out what's working for you. And you said something really important. Understanding what the customer or clients are looking for, what they're searching for, how they're looking, what they need to see in you in order for them to make a decision to give you a call or to go with you. And I think that can change, right? And so what you're saying is like that's not always the same. So I think it's important to kind of understand that, understand what your customer's doing, how they search. And that's something that we're always trying to do because we help market for law firms. And so it's sometimes the attorneys will be like, well, we need to come up on Google for this search term. And you're like, that is so technical. No one's ever going to search for that. And if they did, they know too much to where they probably already have somebody anyway. So we need to bring it back to what would they actually search for when they're in need, of help. So very important. Excellent. Well, so what is some of, what are some of the goals? You're at 10 years in, you guys have been doing for a while. What's goals for growth, other practice areas, things that you like to accomplish in the next couple of years? What's on your, agenda for that? Yeah.
So we're at 10 years and for us, that is a big milestone. We actually just bought a new building here in town and Excellent. We're looking to expand. We actually just posted and positioned for another associate attorney. So if anyone out there is looking for a job, we are a very family-friendly firm and we would love to have you join our team if you're interested in small town practice. And we actually are looking to expand to another location. So we're thinking of opening another location towards Elizabeth City or possibly even the Outer Banks in the next year or two. So we've had a lot of success with the small town format, and I think we would like to keep it in that realm, but we would love to have another location. So that's where we're going in the next year or two, we think.
That's excellent. So anyone, if you do know someone or you potentially are someone listening, Dixon Law Firm, I assume you probably will have something up on there or up on your Facebook or something like that. So if you know someone in that area in North Carolina, young attorney, reach out to them and see if they can be a fit. So no, I think that's a great idea. And, we have large law firms and we have small law firms as clients, but like some of the bigger ones that they don't try to necessarily go after like the big markets in their state all the time. It's what's the smaller areas that make sense to move into that they can actually make some impact and it's not too competitive and challenging. Outer Banks, great. I mean, real estate, obviously, always booming there. So many vacation rentals, and that market's massive. I think one of the densest areas of vacation rentals in the country.
It is. Yes, it definitely is.
Yep. And about an hour and a half from me. So
great.
I'm happy to come to your grand opening at
wonderful.
City or Outer Banks.
Okay, great. We will reach out. That'd be wonderful.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So I think it's a great strategy. And so good growth. And, it sounds calculated and you have your goals.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. And especially like Elizabeth City and places that people, you already have relationships. It makes a lot of sense for you to look at those areas to grow into.
Exactly.
So, excellent. Well, I think it's a great idea. And it sounds like you guys are on the right track. So, Melissa, is there anything else you want to share other than what we've covered today? Anything you want to announce or that you're working on now? Anything like that?
In the next month or two, we've had a lot of people wanting estate planning. The real estate has just been so busy in the last year or two. I think everybody's aware how blown up the real estate market has been. And so we've had a lot of people just wanting wills and estates. So we are going to announce 2 days in the next month or so. We'll put it on our Facebook and on our website. But we're going to have set days where we are going to do wills for first responders.
Wow.
In the spring, we're going to have 2 days where we just do them at a really, really low rate. And then we're going to do it again in the fall for teachers. So we'll post that on our Facebook page and our website soon, because we really want to make sure that we get those done for especially the people who need them the most, the first responders. So we'll have that out as soon as possible.
That's excellent. Well, that's great. So you kind of do like almost like a workshop or like
we're calling it a will clinic. We'll do it.
A clinic. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. I've not heard of that before. I think that's an awesome idea for you to give back and help. And
exactly.
And inadvertently, it's good for marketing and exposure as well.
It is. We're always really grateful for our community. That's one of the strongest things for us about being in a small town. I like to call it the attitude of gratitude. That's what gets me through everything that we could go through, good or bad. So
that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm from a small town too, Chincoteague Island, Virginia. So
I know where that is.
About 2,300 people.
Okay.
I might be up there this weekend. Actually, I have a property up there.
Mm-hmm.
But small town. I know everyone there. I take some friends there from here. Virginia Beach is kind of a populated area.
Yeah.
I take them there just with me as they feel like I'm the mayor there. But I'm like, I'm just everyone there is like that though. It's not just me.
Right.
Anybody can walk into a sandwich shop and 20 people in there. So yeah, it's just a cool feeling for sure. Well, Melissa, thanks so much for sharing. I love what you're doing, and sounds like you guys are on a great path. And tell your husband the same, and look forward to see where you guys go over the next year or two. And we'll be in touch. And thanks for coming on the show to share that.
Thank you. That sounds great. I appreciate it.
Well, stay on with me for just a second. We'll chat backstage after this. Give me feedback. Everyone listening, again, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to our show and learning from attorneys. Great points by Melissa here. Understand your customer, but keep a tabs on that. It's not always going to be the same. See what's changing in the market, how you can market yourself and put yourself out there. But really understand what your customer wants, what they need. Provide that to them. If you want to see this episode or any more, we had about 200 plus last year. You can go to raylawcom/podcast. For Melissa's episode in the future, you can search for by state, so North Carolina, and or practice area, estate planning or real estate, and you can find her episode and many more, of course. And then if you're looking for any help, marketing, SEO, websites for law firms, that's all we do. Go to raylaw.com. Happy to help you with any questions. Doesn't have to be a client situation. Happy to point you in the right direction. Even for small startups, I help all the time, and just give them guidance. Maybe they can't afford to hire someone to bring an agency on, but happy just to help point in the right direction and give them some tips. So, anything else before we go?
Nope. I think that's it. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you